Welcome back to the podcast. It is Tuesday, and we have got some wild AI news today. I am Taylor, and I am so pumped to get into this.
And I am Morgan, always ready to separate the actual signal from all the crazy hype out there. What is on the agenda for today's episode?
Dude, we have got everything from Cisco trying to control AI agents to animal welfare groups using AI in San Francisco, plus some major updates from Anthropic and Google. Okay, so first up on the docket today, I saw this really fascinating article on ZDNet. Cisco just announced something called DefenseClaw. It is basically a new framework to make agentic AI safer for massive enterprises.
Agentic AI, right. That is when the AI actually takes complex actions on its own, not just chatting with the user. But enterprises are completely terrified of it, honestly. What does DefenseClaw actually do to fix this?
Exactly. So Cisco says enterprise adoption is super slow right now because there is no central orchestration layer. DefenseClaw essentially tracks exactly what these autonomous agents are doing in the background at all times.
That actually makes a lot of sense. If an AI agent is going to execute code or move sensitive data around your network, you absolutely need a clear audit trail. A reliable kill switch, basically.
Yeah, dude, a total kill switch. It is like a super strict babysitter for your AI agents. It governs them so they do not just go rogue and accidentally break critical company systems overnight.
I am still a bit skeptical of how well it works in practice, though. Governing autonomous agents across complex enterprise networks is notoriously difficult. It is a very bold claim coming from Cisco.
Totally fair point. But if anyone can figure out the complex networking side of it, it is probably Cisco, right? It is definitely a massive step toward companies actually trusting these autonomous agents.
True. Trust is the absolute biggest bottleneck right now. If DefenseClaw actually provides that much-needed visibility, it could unblock a massive wave of enterprise AI deployment.
Right? It is going to be so cool to see if companies finally let their AI off the leash a bit. We will definitely keep a close eye on it.
Off a very strictly monitored leash, hopefully. But yes, it is an incredibly important development for the industry. What is our next story for today?
Okay, shifting gears entirely now. I read this wild piece in MIT Technology Review this morning. The Bay Area animal welfare movement is officially trying to recruit AI to help protect animals.
Wait, really? Animal welfare and artificial intelligence? Those are two distinct worlds I do not usually see mixing together. How exactly are they planning on using this technology?
Dude, it is so cool. They had this massive meetup in San Francisco, wildlife advocates and AI researchers getting together to figure out how to track wildlife and deeply analyze complex animal behaviors.
Oh, interesting. So they're using computer vision to monitor natural habitats? Or maybe using machine learning to analyze massive data sets of endangered animal populations?
Exactly. Like analyzing thousands of hours of camera trap footage way faster than a human ever could. And they are even looking into decoding animal communication using large language models. It is mind-blowing.
Decoding communication? I think we need to be very careful there. LLMs are great at finding patterns, but we seriously risk anthropomorphizing animals or misinterpreting the data completely.
I mean, yeah, you are probably right about the risks, but just imagine if we could, actually understand a whale's song or a bird's distress call better. That would be completely huge for conservation.
It would be incredible, I agree. But I am much more interested in the immediate practical applications, like identifying illegal poachers or tracking endangered species in real time across vast areas.
Totally. And the fact that these tech bros and wildlife advocates are actually collaborating in some scrappy, shoes-free co-working space is just peak San Francisco, you know?
Peak San Francisco indeed. It is definitely a nice change of pace from the usual corporate AI news we cover. Speaking of which, what is the next big tech update?
All right, so Anthropic just dropped a massive update for their Claude model. They are officially rolling out a new API that literally lets the AI use a computer exactly like a human does.
Wait, do you mean it is actually moving the cursor around and clicking on things? Because that sounds both incredibly fascinating and potentially very dangerous from a security standpoint.
Yes, dude, it can literally look at the screen, move the mouse, type in text boxes, and navigate complex websites. It is like having a little invisible ghost operating your laptop for you.
But what does this actually mean for security? If an AI can browse the web and click buttons autonomously, what is stopping it from accidentally deleting a database or falling for a phishing scam?
Well, they are keeping it in a strict beta for developers right now, and they specifically warned that it might make some silly mistakes. But the video demo was like seriously impressive to watch.
I am sure the curated demo was completely flawless, but real-world applications are extremely messy. Websites constantly change, unexpected pop-ups appear. I am highly skeptical that it can navigate all that without constant human supervision.
That is super fair, but think about the tedious, boring tasks, like filling out endless corporate spreadsheets or booking complex flights. Claude could just do it all for you in the background while you chill.
That is the ultimate dream, certainly. It is definitely a massive leap toward those fully autonomous agents we were just talking about with Cisco. That orchestration layer is going to be absolutely vital here.
Right? It all ties together so perfectly. It is like the AI is finally getting its own hands and eyes. So crazy to think about how incredibly fast this entire space is moving right now.
Moving fast and breaking things, as they always say in Silicon Valley. We will see how developers actually use this new capability in the wild. What is our final story for today?
Okay, last major story for today. Google DeepMind just made a genuinely huge move. They are finally open sourcing the underlying code for AlphaFold 3. This is absolutely massive news for the global science community.
AlphaFold has obviously been revolutionary for predicting complex protein structures. But wait, I thought they previously restricted access to this latest version specifically to protect their own commercial interests.
They totally did, but now they're letting academic researchers actually download the raw code. It is like a total game changer for discovering new life-saving drugs and understanding rare diseases.
That is a very significant shift in their strategy. By open sourcing it, they are allowing the global scientific community to build directly upon their work. But are there any strict restrictions on how it is used?
Yeah, from what I saw, it is mostly restricted to non-commercial research, so big pharma companies cannot just take it and make billions without a proper license. But for universities, it is completely open.
That makes perfect sense. It protects their lucrative commercial interests while simultaneously accelerating basic scientific research. This is exactly the kind of AI application that genuinely changes the world for the better.
Dude, exactly. It is not just about making smarter chatbots or generating funny images anymore. This is literally about finding cures for terrible diseases. AI in biology is just exploding right now.
It is arguably the most important and impactful frontier for artificial intelligence today. I am very glad to see Google making these powerful tools more accessible to the researchers who can actually use them.
For sure. I absolutely cannot wait to see what kind of crazy medical breakthroughs come out of this over the next few years. Science is getting a massive, massive turbo boost.
A turbo boost indeed. It is a very positive and hopeful note to end today's discussion on. AI actually doing some undeniable, tangible good for humanity.
I totally agree. Well, that is unfortunately all the time we have for today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in and nerding out with us.
Yes, thank you so much for listening.
remember to stay critical, always look past the marketing hype, and keep questioning the technology around you.
I could not agree more. That is it for today. We will be back tomorrow with more AI news.